it up, put the hip shit on the shelf. Cause the way the real wealth is being real itself. My dad haven't seen the glory of the coming of the left. I can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for help. It's time to switch it up, put the hip shit on the shelf. Cause the way the real wealth is being real itself. My dad haven't seen the glory of the coming of the left. I can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for help.
Money. Why you advertise for being wealthy? I know you like Kanye West said, having money is not everything, not having it is. No, Deuteronomy 8:18 says God gives us the ability to create wealth. No, it's the love of money that's the wrong. You don't like money so much, why you get up and go to work? What are you trying to do? Think about going to things that more I'm just trying to leave a legacy for money. It's not everything, but when you got it, you can do some cool stuff. And now, your host for Talking Money in the Morning, financial health mentor to the working class, Mr. H Cortez.
Good morning. As I drowned myself this morning, I was trying to get me a swig of water before we came on live. Good morning, and welcome to Talking Money in the Morning Live with your man, H Cortez, one and only financial health mentor to the working class, where I do my absolute best to bring practical yet proven wealth building strategies to working men and women all over this great nation of ours. I truly, guys, count it an honor, a privilege, and a blessing to present to you guys each and every morning the things that I have on my heart, the things that I am hoping will help you overcome any mental blocks, any struggles, any situations, to push and propel you forward towards the reaching of not only your financial goals, your business goals, your personal goals, whatever you have set for yourself. I just want to help motivate and encourage you that, guys, you can do it. So do me a huge favor. If you're checking this out on YouTube, then subscribe to the channel and then grab the link and share the link on your favorite social media platform, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn, wherever you like to share links. I want you to share this link and let's get people in this conversation. You guys are gonna love today's show, man. I just got that feeling. And then also, if you're checking this out on Facebook, do the same thing for me. Grab the stream, share it with your timeline, and then if you know people specifically that want to build wealth, then hit the invite button so you can invite people directly that you need, that you know that needs to hear this, man, because this is good talk in the morning, right? Guys, start your day with something positive every day and watch how momentum for positivity just rolls in your life, guys. I do this every morning, and as I tell you guys all the time, you guys are hearing me talk to myself out loud, because I'm not preaching to you, I'm lecturing me. You guys just happen to be witnessing what I say and what I talk and how I talk to myself. Hopefully that makes sense to you. So let's get the show started today. Just in case you stumbled upon this show on accident, I always like to let you know exactly who this show is for. This show is for risers and grinders, eyes only. Guys, if you're not a riser and grinder, this show ain't for you. But if you are ready to get up, get out and get something, like Outkast would say, this show is for you. If you are serious about building a legacy for you and your family, this is your show. If you, like me, went to bed last night, and like I go to bed every night, I'm thinking about what can I do tomorrow, next week, the week after that, next month, next year, the next 5 years, next 10 years, to make sure that my children's children's children are proud to bear my name, then this show is for you. If you have the discipline to build wealth, you know you got the desire to build wealth, you yearn to build wealth, you know there's more to life than just getting up, going to work, and paying bills, but maybe you lack a game plan, maybe you need strategies, maybe you need a coach, a mentor, maybe you need an environment that's going to be conducive for building wealth and creating the thought process necessary for you to build wealth, then this is your show, my friend. Now, on the other hand, who is this show not for, right? If you read the title of the stream and the show is not for they, it's not for them, and it's not for the damn Joneses either, right? This show is not for those people who are pessimistic, who love to see the negative in everything. This ain't your show. This show is not for you if you're the type of person that got a problem with me just saying the word money over and over and again. And if you don't like the word money, legacy, and what, this ain't your show. This ain't your show if you're the type of person who's sitting back talking about, I'm glad Trump is in the office because he's a businessman. America is a business, so maybe he can fix the economy. Instead of focusing on your economy, this ain't your show. Right? If you got that weird relationship with money, you think money is evil, you think capitalism is a dirty word, this ain't your show. Because here's what happens when you have that kind of relationship with money. You tend to repel money away from you. If you think wealthy people are jerks, your subconscious mind will never allow you to become wealthy, because why would your subconscious mind allow you to become a jerk? Got to fix that stuff in your head. That's why this show ain't for you, because the people who listen to this show, they attract prosperity. They attract success. They pull money and positive energy into their lives. And if you don't want no part of that, this ain't your show. You can exit stage left and we won't be mad at you. Now, let's be clear. I do not have a problem with you not wanting to be wealthy. It's your prerogative. Maybe you hit your financial goals in life and maybe you're content and complacent and you're cool with where you are. I'm not. I only have a problem with you having a problem with me wanting to be wealthy. If you don't want to be wealthy, that's cool with you. If you want to be but because I want to be wealthy, don't let that bother you. Because as I tell you each and every morning, if you've never seen a future billionaire before, and yes, that is billion with a B, I want you to take a screenshot, frame that thing, put it up, hold me to it, and watch me work over the next 5 to 10 years. Now, you can do that, and you can sit on the sideline, cheer for me and cheer against me. Don't make me know, never mind. Ain't gonna stop me from getting what I got to get, what has my name on it already anyway. But what I advise you to do is get in the game with me. Because here's what I know. There's not a single billionaire on this planet that ever got to being a billionaire without helping dozens, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of others become wealthy along the way, right? Zuckerberg, how many billionaires have he created? How many mega millionaires have he created? How many decamillionaires are created because of Zuckerberg? Bill Gates, the same thing. Oprah, the same thing. Look at what Dr. Phil is doing. Who the heck knew Dr. Phil until Oprah brought him on her show? So you can sit on the sidelines or you can get in the game. Like most of the people who are listening to this stream, they're in the game with me. So we're racing each other to financial prosperity, success. We're racing each other to the billion, but at the same time, we're not competing with each other. We're holding and we're lifting each other up, and we're working together, because we know that all it takes is a handful of people with the resources and the money to transform our communities. See, problem is we have a ton of conscious people, but they have no capital. And then we have a ton of people with capital that have no consciousness. So I'm trying to marry the two, so the people with consciousness can get their capital up, and then we don't have to wait on anybody to make a move to fix our communities. We can do that ourselves. So today's show is sponsored by a very, very special sponsor, and I think she's on the stream. I truly, truly thank you, and I appreciate you, Miss Yvette Best. So today's show is sponsored by Best Services Unlimited, LLC. If you need business consultant, if you need tax preparation, Best Services Unlimited LLC, you can check them out at bsullc.us. bsullc.us. Phone number 770-829-0082. If you're not in Fayetteville, Georgia, she has an 800 number set up for you as well, 866-763-2249. And then also, if you guys maybe can't get to her, or maybe don't want to use her services, she has a great ebook out called Maximizing Your Tax Refund, 35 Surefire Ways to Get More from Your Return, $8.99 on Amazon. I will put the link to that book in the description. But Yvette's my girl. I've interviewed her a couple times, and she's probably going to line up to be on the show as soon as we can get our schedules together and show you how you can maximize your return. And the reason I love Yvette is not because she's professional in what she does, but she has a heart for the people that she does it for. See, Yvette is one of those kind of tax preparers who will sit a single mom down with 4 or 5 children and will help them maximize that return. But she's not going to let them walk out of there with a $10,000 tax refund check without telling them, hey, you need to put some of that money away, child. You need to do some of this. You need to invest. You need to look at some other options. Don't go out of here and blow this doggone money. So she has a heart for the people with what she does. So again, that's bsullc.us. Best Services Unlimited. I thank you so much, Yvette, for sponsoring All Amateur Sports Network coverage of the 2016 Normandy Holiday Tournament. So if you guys are interested in sponsoring some of the things that I have going, I want you to go to allamateurs.network.com and check out our holiday invitation, Normandy Holiday Invitational. I'm looking for sponsors to help me pull off a great event because I'm covering a 5-day basketball tournament here in the St. Louis area. And we're going to do live streams. We're going to do pregame, postgame, and halftime shows, all kinds of festivities. It's going down, and you can be a part of that and help me bring positive press about our young athletes, what they're doing on the court and off the court by participating and being a sponsor. So thanks again, Yvette of Best Services Unlimited LLC. So today's show, we're talking about forget they, forget them, and forget the doggone Joneses, man. Right? Because I was checking out, if you guys are not familiar with His and Hers Money, I want you to go write this down and go on YouTube and check out His and Hers Money. Another young couple that's doing what I'm doing, trying to raise the collective IQ financially of our community, right? His and Hers Money is the name of their show on YouTube. And I was checking out one of their videos. Like I always say, guys, I learn, do, teach, and I'm always researching and learning financial principles and strategies, how other people are teaching, how other people are getting the message across. Because if I'm not getting the message across, then I'm going to switch it up until I find a way that's going to get the message across. We got to raise the financial IQ of our people, man. Point blank, period, if we're ever going to transform our communities. See, I'm about one thing. I'm about one thing. Say anything for the kids. Appreciate that, Yvette. I'm about one thing, guys. Community development and economic empowerment. But guess what? We can't develop our communities without no capital, right? And I know that's a double negative, and we can't develop our communities without any capital, right? But thank goodness the grammar police is not on the stream. So we can't develop our community without capital. And we can't economically empower our community without first empowering the people in that community economically. So we got to raise the collective IQ of our community, and that's why I want you guys to share the stream. That's why I want you guys to get involved with my Financial Success membership, because you can become a crusader with me, learn these strategies, and start teaching them to just you and your family. That's cool. You and your inner circle, that's cool. Just teach them these strategies. And guess what? They're going to do the same thing. Teach these strategies to their family and their inner circle. And guess what? The biggest thing is all of you guys will then teach these strategies to your children. And that's where the game changes for us, guys. You start having conversations about money, wealth, prosperity, legacy, ownership with your children. That's where the game changes for us. So that's why I'm so passionate about this. But I was checking out His and Hers Money, and the episode that I watched was 5 traps that will keep you from building wealth. And that's where the idea for today's show come from. So I'm going to start with number 5, work my way up, because number 1 is where the title of today's show came from. So 5 traps that will keep you from building wealth. Number 1 is confusion, right? In 2016, why do we still know so little about money when there are countless professionals teaching these strategies for free, like my girl Yvette, right? Teaching this stuff for free all over YouTube, all over the internet, all over personal blogs and websites. There's no shortage of places where you can go and get some free financial education from. And then if you got $10, $12, $15, there's a bookstore in every town. There's online bookstores. You can go online and type in a bookstore and do a search on how to build wealth. There's an unlimited number of books that will come up, including mine. And you can buy some books on how to build wealth. There's no reason for us to still be confused about money in 2016 and how the money game works. In fact, there's a great video that I have on my Facebook fan page, where not only did it break out what Trump was saying when Hillary Clinton and him were going through their debates, and she tried to bring up in a negative light that he hasn't paid taxes in all of these years. And what did he say? That makes me smart. But not only is that on there, but there's also the video of Warren Buffett talking about how he pays less taxes percentage-wise than all of his employees, including his secretary or his administrative assistant, right? For some reason, they don't like that word. How does someone who's worth almost $80 billion pay less in taxes than someone who makes $25,000, $30,000 a year? And he said, I'm not doing anything special. I don't even have a tax accountant or anybody special. I just follow the tax code according to the way that it is written for me in my position. And what is his position? His position is a business owner and investor. The reason his employees pay more in taxes percentage-wise than him is because of their position. They are positioned as employees. Guys, I don't know if you realize this, but employees pay 80% of the entire tax burden in this country. Businesses only pay 20%. 80% of all the tax revenue that flows from the pockets of the people through the government, 80% of that comes from working class people. 20% of it comes from corporations. Did you guys know that? There's no reason in 2016 to still be confused about money, right? If you are, then, and stop blaming the school system. I know the school system didn't teach it, but hell, we grown now. We grown. That's kind of like my grown son. I got a grown son who hasn't talked to me, has said more than 2 words to me in about 6 months, because I put him out in July. So in about 6 months, right? He hadn't said a word to me, more than 2, 3 words at a time to me. Even when I talk to him, I try to engage conversation. It's yep, okay. You know, so he's mad because he got put out. But my grown son, so now he's going through some challenges emotionally and mentally, because it's time for him to stand up and be a man. So now he's in a place where, and trust me, I get it, because I've been here. He's in a place where now, since he's been put out, he's looking to blame everybody for his current situation. So now he's blaming me in the fact that I wasn't rich. He's blaming me in the fact that I wasn't rich when as he was coming up as a kid, and saying we struggled. And so now he's not on his feet because we struggled financially when he was a kid, right? So he's pointing the finger at everybody. But at 24 years old, you can keep on pointing that finger, and you can keep on saying what I did not do for you, what me and your mom were not able to provide for you. You can keep on pointing that finger, or you can say, here's where I am based on my 24-year history, which included some things that I felt my parents should have done for me that they didn't. But here's where I am now, doggone it. And here's how I'm going to go up from here, right? Iyanla Vanzant got a great book, Up From Here. Say, recognize where you are, stop complaining, moaning, and groping about it, and say, what am I going to do to go up from here? So yes, the school system didn't teach us finances, didn't teach us entrepreneurship, but hell, we grown now. He grown now. We grown now. Stop complaining about what we didn't do, what we didn't have. Recognize where you are and start putting together a plan that's going to help you go up from here. From here. Because what you don't realize is by staying stagnant and continuing to complain, mope, and groan about what you didn't get accomplished before, and how you didn't get help and support and all that stuff before, you're falling behind, right? So no reason for being confused. Number 4, contradiction, right? And this, again, this is me preaching to myself out loud. I know a tremendous amount about building wealth and how to build business and how to build brands and how to invest my money and that kind of stuff. But contradiction says those who know love to talk about, but maybe not necessarily practice what they preach all the time. And I know I got some areas in my life where I don't always practice what I preach, right? And that's why I do these shows, not for you guys, but for me, to continue to help me feed my mind on these principles and strategies and help me say, you know what? Okay, I gotta get better at actually implementing that. right? I'm really good at my tax deduction. I'm really good at writing off my lifestyle, but I got to get better at the investment piece. I got to get better at building my portfolio in different asset classes, right? So a lot of stuff I got to get better at. So when I come to you guys, like I said earlier, you guys are basically witnessing me talk to myself. I'm not talking to you. I'm not lecturing to you. I'm lecturing to myself, and you guys just happen to be a witness. So contradicting. So those of you guys who know some financial principles, those of you guys have been on the stream. We're on episode number 94. Some of you guys have been on the stream for every episode for 94 episodes straight. Are you implementing the things that you're learning and now that you know? Right? Don't be a walking contradiction. Stop contradicting what you know and start living out what you know and allowing those things to transform. See, as a youth basketball coach, I'm always talking to my children about discipline. And the reason I coach sports is because you learn a lot of life lessons in sports. What is my definition of discipline? My definition of discipline is this: doing what you know needs to be done, especially when you don't feel like doing it. Doing what you know needs to be done, especially when you don't feel like doing it or when you're tempted to do otherwise. See, on the basketball court, my children, they're well practiced, so they know what they need to be doing. And it's not that they don't feel like doing it in the game, but in the game, they're tempted to do otherwise. So for instance, I can have a kid bring the ball up the court, 2-on-1 fast break. He knows he needs to jump stop and make a solid pass. He knows he needs to split the defender, get wide, jump stop, and make a solid pass. But he's tempted to do otherwise because there's a crowd of people watching. And if I go wide, I jump stop and just make a solid pass, even though it's fundamentally sound, that's not what makes the crowd go, ooh. So instead of doing what he knows needs to be done, in the face of being tempted to do otherwise, he goes and tries to do some sort of shot fake, whip the ball around his back, and now turns the doggone ball over. So we're doing the same thing in life, guys. We know what needs to be done. You have to do that, especially when you don't feel like doing it, and or when you're tempted to do otherwise. Just stay the course, stay fundamental, stay sound, right? There's gonna be times in your life when you don't feel like doing what you need to do. There's gonna be times in your life when you know you need to do something and you're on your way to doing it, but then you're tempted to do something otherwise. You're tempted to do something differently than what you would normally do. Got to exercise the discipline. Don't be a walking contradiction. Number 3, these are 5 traps that are keeping you from building wealth. Number 1 is confusion, right? And we use that as an excuse, or I'm going from 5 to 1. We use that as an excuse. I'm confused. I don't know the money game. So you're just going to keep on spending money like you're crazy. You're just going to keep on doing dumb stuff with your money because you don't know, or you recognize that you don't know, and you go ahead and start making some adjustments so that you can learn and that you can know. All right. Number 2 is contradiction. Even when we start to learn the principles and the strategies, we still don't apply them. But every second we get, oh, you know, you should be doing this with your money. Oh, yeah, I learned this strategy. You should be doing this. But are you doing that? Right? Don't be a contradiction. You learn the principles and strategies and you apply them in your life, and you speak from your experience of applying them in your life. Number 3, consumerism. It's another trap that's killing our pockets, man. We are all building wealth every day. Whether we know it or not, we are all building a tremendous amount of wealth every day. The question is, who you building it for? We're building wealth every day. The question is, who are we building it for? Right? When I take a piece of my check and I go to Walmart, I'm building wealth for Sam Walton's family and his descendants. We talk about Bill Gates and Warren Buffett being some of the richest guys in the world. If Sam Walton was still alive, he'd be the richest man in the world. Right? Walmart is worth over $100 billion. The reason he's not the richest is because when he died, he split the estate between his wife and 4 children. So they're all worth $20 billion apiece. But if he was still alive, he'd be worth over $100 billion today. So we're all building a tremendous amount of wealth every single day. The question is, who are you building it for? You're building wealth right now. Some of you guys are on your way, not to work because you called off, because you're going to catch some sale at some store. Because it's Christmas. You're going to build wealth for who? And if you didn't watch the stream last week, 'tis the season to invest. I hope you go back and download that podcast on Stitcher.com. You can download it, listen to it. And I hope at the very least, for every one of these stores that you're going to spend these thousands of dollars in, you at least go buy at least 1 share of stock in those stores. If you're going to go spend $1,000 with Best Buy on that flat screen TV, then you can get a share of stock of Best Buy for less than $100. So instead of buying the right, so you go buy the $1,000 TV, and then for the $1,000 TV you buy, you can also go buy the maintenance package or the warranty package for another $150 or something like that. Don't buy that. Buy a share of stock in its place. Right? And then next year on Black Friday, when all of those people are lined up outside of Best Buy, sleeping in tents and all that kind of stuff in the freezing cold, you can sit back with a smile on your face saying, yep, they're shopping at my store. I own a piece of that. Good for you guys. And you can actually encourage your coworkers to get on out there. You guys getting out to Best Buy? They got a great sale. Brown Thursday, Black Friday sale, Cyber Monday sale. Consumerism is a huge trap that's keeping us from building wealth. We're not careful about how we're spending our money. And I keep saying building wealth. It's keeping us from building wealth for our family and our descendants. We're building a tremendous amount of wealth. We're just building it for other families. We're building it for somebody else, right? Talked about Victoria's Secrets stocks less than $100. You're going to get those Jordans for your baby. I was in a barbershop the other day. I was listening to a guy talk about, getting his son a particular pair of Jordans that, he wanted for Christmas, and how he played like he didn't have them, but he actually does have them, and the son's walking around with frowns on his face. Cool, get them the Jordans. I'm not saying don't buy your kids the Jordans, the 5s or the burpees or the grapes or whatever. They got all these different names for these shoes. Get them some doggone stock to go with them though. Do that, right? $52, $53 or something for a share of Nike stock. And who knows? If you'd have bought $500 worth of Nike stock in '85, you'd be a millionaire today. What happened in '85? Michael Jordan hit the scene. Signed Michael Jordan to the contract, and Nike stock took off. Who knows? You can buy $300, $400, $500 worth of Nike stock right now. Who knows if the next Michael Jordan don't hit the scene, come out of college this year, and all of a sudden he surpasses LeBron, Steph Curry, and all those guys. Nike signed that guy to a contract, and then Nike stock ballooned to over $100 a share. Who knows? But some of y'all can go to your son's bedroom right now, your daughter's bedroom right now, and they got 10, 12, 14 pair of J's in their closet at $200 a pair. You can get 4 shares of Nike stock for the price of 1 pair of Jordans. I'm just saying, but I digress. That was another show. Go to Stitcher.com and you can look up 'Tis the Season to Invest if you want to download that episode. So that was number 3, consumerism. Guys, we got to get a handle on how we spend our money and stop building wealth for all of these other people and start building wealth for ourselves. Number 2 on the list, again, this comes from His and Hers Money, a beautiful young black couple who does some similar to what I do. They do these daily streams and these shows, and they're really, really popular, and they have some real good advice. If you haven't checked out His and Hers Money on YouTube, do that. And I know some people say, H Cortez, you're sending people from your show to go follow somebody else. Yeah, because if my message ain't resonating with you and you're not taking action on what I say, I want you to find somebody that you can follow that can be your mentor, that's going to spur you into some action. And the other thing is, I'm all about collaboration, not competition. If someone can do what I'm doing and I did not have to do it, guess what? I wouldn't be doing it. I'm doing it because nobody else is. And when I find other people who are doing it and doing it well, I want you guys to know about them too. So his and hers money, this list came from them. Number 2 on the list is complacency. Complacency. I know nobody listening here, but some people actually have given up on whether or not they can build wealth. Man, I told my kids they could get $100 in any stock they want for Christmas. I've been on Nike and Disney for years. But yeah, man, I'm telling you. Appreciate that, Corbell. I'm telling you. Yes. They certainly can. And then you might just go set up the custodial account for them and just give that to them as a Christmas present. I will give them a Nike Jordan box and let them tear that thing open. And in that Nike Jordan box is a certificate of ownership, AKA a stock. Where the shoes at, Dad? I bought you something more valuable than the shoes, right? So complacency is number 2 on the list. And what do they mean by complacency? Some of us have literally just given up and believe that building wealth just not in the cards for us. That I'm just going to work and pay bills till I die. Some of us have just given up. Some of us have fallen victim to the things that are socially acceptable and say, you know what? Everybody else got debt for their car, so I'm just going to get a loan and buy me a car. Everybody else has a mortgage, so I guess that's you just can't have a house without having a mortgage. So you just get complacent and you fall into this status quo. And the powers that be understand this very, very well. They understand it very, very well. So so when you fall into complacency, then that's how a single shepherd can herd 1,000,000 sheep. That's how a single shepherd can herd 1,000,000 sheep, because you fall into complacency and everybody is going the same way. So that shepherd doesn't have to do anything but get the first maybe 10, 12 sheep going in the right direction, and all the other sheep just follow. So he basically don't have to do anything. You can herd 1,000,000 sheep. You get the first 10 or 15 to go in the right direction because everybody is complacent and content. Say, hey, this is where everybody going. I'm going with the crowd. You get complacent and you know that you got this burning desire inside that says, make a U-turn, make a U-turn. You're going the wrong way. You're going the wrong way. You got this burning desire to say you're going the wrong way. You need to turn around and go the opposite direction. But everybody is going in this direction and you can't fight hard enough to make that shift, to make that turn, to make that transition, to make that U-turn, because you don't want to be seen as someone is doing something different than everybody else. So you don't make that U-turn. You don't turn around. You don't fight against the grain and get through the crowd going in the right direction, because you don't want anybody to say that you're different. You don't want anybody to talk about what you're doing. So you just go with the flow. You get complacent, you get content. It's like, man, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year, that's all in the cards for me. Let me figure out how to make this work. And you ain't been able to figure out how to make it work in 30 years, but you're still trying to do the same thing over and over. What do they say is a problem with trying the same thing and expecting different results? Some of you guys have been trying to budget. Some of you guys have been trying to stretch your money, and you keep coming up short. When are you going to do something different? When are you going to realize that the status quo isn't for you? That's for them. That's for those in power. That's for those who have wealth. The status quo keeps their wealth growing, and it keeps you on the hamster wheel. When are you going to jump off that damn thing? See, when I was a kid, we used to hang out on the train tracks. And even though the trains would move maybe at about 4, 5, 6 miles an hour, so we would know that, okay, if a train is coming, I'm coming home from school from basketball practice or just hanging out, and I know that this end of the tracks ends up at that end of the tracks where my house is, I could hop on the back of a train and catch that ride, because 5 or 6 miles an hour is, you know, faster than I would walk. And then all I have to do is just hold on. I can just chill and just, you know, hop on when I get there. But here's the thing. I don't care sometimes at 5 or 6 miles an hour. When I got to my destination, I still had to hop off the thing. And guess what? Hopping off a train moving at 5 or 6 miles an hour isn't as easy as one might think, right? And the very first time that I did it, I'm thinking that I'm just gonna hop off, land flat-footed, and just be okay. But here's where my lack of understanding of physics kicked in, because I didn't know about force, I didn't know about momentum, acceleration, deceleration, and all that stuff. I hop out the train and try to land flat-footed, and when I tell you I tumbled about 20 feet because I didn't understand. But all of my friends knew that you don't just hop out and stand flat-footed, you hop out and you run with the train, because your momentum is going to be carrying you that way. So some of you guys don't want to hop off the hamster wheel because you know there's potential for you to scar your head. And I'm here to tell you guys that a scarred head will heal. Right? If I took off my shirt, you couldn't even see where my shoulder was raw from landing on those doggone track rocks. You guys know what they use lava rocks on railroad tracks. So you guys know, some of you guys who've been around the railroad track know what a lava rock looks like. I have so much of my skin in them doggone lava rocks, man. But that's where we are when we're going through life. We know we need to do something different. We know we need to do something drastic. And yes, that initial drastic move might cause me some pain, might cause me some cold stares, might cause me to fall and flip and tumble on my head and scar my head. But that's going to heal, and you're going to thank yourself. Because I said, when I watched Ray's show, and I forget the guest that she had on, the brother said, I used to ask myself, where do I want to be in 20 years? And he said, I flipped that question on his head because of one of his mentors, key mentors. If you don't have a mentor in your life, that's one of your problems. He said, one of my mentors said, don't ask it that way, ask it this way. In 20 years from now, what am I going to wish I had done today? And then that's what you start doing today. 20 years from now, are you going to look back and say, man, I wish I'd have drank more water. I'd be in better health today. 20 years from now, are you going to say, I wish I'd have taken a $5 challenge? What's a $5 challenge? Every time you bust open a big bill and you get a $5 bill back, take one of those $5 bills and put it in a shoebox somewhere. Every single time. Every time. $5 challenge. You just put it in the shoebox. And see what happens over the next 90 days or so. See how many fives you accumulate in that shoebox. And then you take that money in that shoebox and you put it in an investment account, in a brokerage account, and then you start picking stocks that you want to do and start building. Say, yes, sir, Illinois is born and raised. So she know a little bit something about that. So don't get complacent, guys. Don't be afraid to hop off that train. Larry Cheatham was on Discussions with Dallas Live with Ray J. For Financial Superset. You can go to Financial Superset, Google Financial Superset if you want other tips and strategies on how to overcome mortgage debt, student loan debts, those large debts that compound and revolve over time. Look at how you can eliminate that stuff in half the time based on the Financial Superset. So complacency, guys, get out of it. If you're stuck in complacency, you're stuck in that rut, as they call it, and all you're doing is getting up, going to work, paying bills, getting up, going to work, paying bills. Occasionally you take the kids out for a movie. If that's the rut that you're in, shake your life up a little bit. Shake it up a little bit, because I told you, you are who you are based on three main things. Three main things dictate who you are: the places you go, the books you read, and the people you associate with. If for whatever reason, and I'm not here to judge you, if for whatever reason you only hang out with the same people you've been hanging out with for the last 20 years, if you only read the same kinds of material that you've been reading for the last 20 years, I know it's a different book, but it's the same kind of material. If you only go to the same places over and over and over, that you've been going through for the last 20 years. That's why you are who you are, and that's why you are where you are in life right now. So I want you to think about doing something different. And I give an example. I don't know, guys, if you know Dr. Lance McCarthy, when we had that situation with Mike Brown here in the St. Louis area, that was in a small community known as Ferguson. Out of all of that was something created called the Ferguson 1000, and Dr. Lance McCarthy heads that up, where they're trying to create 1,000 new businesses to create more jobs for the economically deprived people in that community. But I was on a panel with him, and we did a workshop, and he talked about how expounding and expanding your horizon. He said every weekend, most of you guys are going to some sort of club or a hole in the wall or hang out, and you're doing the same thing, and you go spend some money to get jazzed up. You go get jazzed up, and then you go to these spots where sometimes it's a cover charge to get in. You're spending your money to get your feeling right on your little alcohol, your drinks, your champagne, and all that kind of stuff, and you're networking with the same old broke people. He said, while this is going on the other side of town, there's an art show, free admission, free food, free drinks, and you can network with multimillionaires. Just by changing your circle, getting out of that space of complacency, right? Just by changing and tweaking. Books you read, places you go, people you hang with determine who you are. I change my circle up not my inner circle, but I change what I do all the time. I'm getting involved with different things all the time. I'm volunteering at different things all the time so I can meet different people, right? Reading different books all the time, different types of books, biographies and things about people that I'm studying wealthy people because I want to be wealthy, right? So that was number 2. So let me recap the 4, and then we're going to get into the main one today, the main trap. Number 5 was confusion. Get yourself educated about money. Number 4 was contradiction. Once you get educated, apply the education, right? Don't just talk a good game, live out the education that you're learning. Number 3, consumerism. Control how you're spending your money. We call it cash flow management. Because as a people, you guys know, we never had no get money problem. We never had no get cash problem. We some of the cash gettingest people on the planet. But we have a cash flow problem. All of our cash is always flowing away from us. So I let some of that cash flow into the bank accounts for your children and your children's children. So building some wealth. Number 3 is complacency. Guys, you're going to have to stretch. You're going to have to get out of your comfort zone. Some of you guys know my feelings about the comfort zone. There is a tremendous amount of security in your comfort zone. There's a tremendous amount of safety in your comfort zone. But guess what? Nothing ever grows there. Nothing ever grows there. So if you're looking for growth, you're going to have to stretch yourself and get outside of your comfort zone. In fact, my comfort zone is here. I pitch a tent over here, and I live outside of my comfort zone. This isn't comfortable for me, right? But this is my challenge to myself to get out of my comfort zone and do something different so that I can grow. And for 94 episodes, guys, I've grown tremendously every day that I come here and share with you guys. Some of you guys have a lot of stuff on your heart that can bless a lot of people, and you're not willing to share it because of number 1. What is number 1? The comparison trap. Number 1 is the comparison trap. That's the they, that's the them, that's the Joneses that we're comparing ourselves to. And also that's the they, that's the them. Those are the people that we think are watching our every move, and we're so scared of what they think that we don't do the things that we need to do to get to where we want to go in life. The comparison trap. Now, I put a quote on my page yesterday. It says the biggest prison most people are living in is the fear of what other people think. And I can promise you this, man. Things are so hectic in everybody's life. Ain't nobody thinking about you, man. But we're caught up in thinking that everybody's thinking about us, and we're concerned about what that person, what they are going to think, what they are going to say, what we're looking at them, what they are doing, and when we're comparing ourselves, we're competing with the Joneses. We need to cut that crap right now, because it's killing your ability to build and create wealth for you and your family. literally killing it. The comparison trap. Oh, my neighbor got a new car, so let me go get a new car. We live in the same neighborhood, so we must make the same money. If he can afford a new car, I can afford a new car. Stop it. Stop it. Only person that I compete with is the yesterday, the H Cortez of yesterday. It's the only person I compete with ever. I'm just trying to be better than that dude. It's the only person I'm competing with, which is H Cortez of yesterday. I'm trying to be better than that dude. If I continue to be better than that dude every day, I'm going to get where I want to go in life. I'm going to get what I want to have in life. I'm going to do the things that I want to do in life. All I have to do is be better than that dude was yesterday. It's the only thing I have to do. If I am better today than I was yesterday, and that becomes my lifestyle, that becomes my life's mission, that becomes my only focus, I don't care where you are in life. If you can admit that that's where you are right now, and you say, you know what, from this point forward, I'm going to get better every day. You guys got to understand how compound, the magic of compounding helps. Wherever you are today, if you get better day by day, then that compounds on itself every day. Eventually, you will be the person you need to become to have the things that you need to have or that you want to have. Question is, are you competing with the Joneses? Here's what's funny. You might be competing with somebody who is 2 or 3 levels behind where you are today. So you're going backwards to compete with them, and you're getting worse instead of getting better. Right? You don't know what's going on in the lives of other people that you are competing with. You just see it from the outside looking in, and you're making assumptions, and you're doing a bunch of dumb stuff because you see other people doing it. Right? So the comparison trap. Stop comparing yourself with other people. Right? Stop letting the fear of what other people think control what you do. Right? The other quote I have for you guys for today is, the fear of what people think is holding you back. The fear of what people think is holding you back. Some of you guys are afraid to look silly. Some of you guys are afraid to look stupid. Some of you guys are afraid to look dumb. Some of you guys are afraid to make a move because you think, man, if I don't succeed, I'm going to be the laughing stock of the family. I'm going to be the laughing stock of the company. I'm going to be the laughing stock of the community if I don't succeed. That's baloney, man. That's baloney. Stop that thinking, man. Because I'm telling you, ain't nobody thinking about you, man. Stuff is crazy in people's lives. Ain't nobody thinking about you. Everybody's concerned about, you know what everybody is thinking about? Everybody is thinking about what everybody else is thinking about them. So you're thinking, I don't want to make this move because they gonna think this. And you're trying to anticipate what they're thinking. But guess what they're thinking? I don't want to make this move because they're gonna think this. Right? When I did this show for the first time, I said, man, I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna create my own platform, create my own show. Now, I saw other people doing their streams and other people doing their shows. I saw people who had 300, 400, 500 viewers on their live stream. And the thing that came to my mind is, when I do my first live stream, what are other people gonna think when I have 0 viewers on my live stream? I only have 1 or 2 people tuning in to my live stream. Right? But I said, I'm not doing this for other people. I'm doing this for me. I need this. And if people come on board and go along for the journey, then so be it. So we got to get out of the place of where we think so much. And here's another funny thing. A lot of times the people that we're trying to impress are people we don't even like. People we're trying to impress, we call them our haters. Why are you trying to impress your haters? They hate you. Or they hate on you. Why are you trying to impress people who hate on you? Right? Why are you concerned about what they're going to think about you? Why are you concerned about what you think they're going to say about you? Why is that an issue for you? So again, I'm only competing with the Cortez that existed yesterday. That's my only competition. That should be the only person that you're competing with, is competing to be a better version of yourself than you were yesterday. And if you can continue to do that, eventually all of that improvement is going to continue to compound. And before you know it, you're going to be a professional at something. Before you know it, you're going to be great at something. Before you know it, you're going to be excellent at something. Before you know it, you're going to be a pro. And you're going to have so much success at the things that you're doing, it's going to be unreal. Because I got blinders on, man. You know, I'm not competing with his and hers money. I'm not competing with them. Even though they're my contemporaries, that's not my competition. My competition is H Cortez yesterday. How can I get that? How can I be better than that dude? Right? Yep, I do posted no advertising, and my grandson absolutely hates it. He says I embarrass him. And my answer: you don't have a problem spending the money. Right. You don't have the problem spending the money that it makes me, but you're embarrassed by the thing that makes the money. So that was my message for today, guys. There's 5 traps. There's more than 5, but these are the 5 that I got from his and hers money. You can check them out on YouTube. If you go to HCortezThornton.com, that's where my blog is. I actually did a blog about their episode, so you can go if you want to read that blog. I think I put a link to it on my page yesterday too. So here are the 5. Confusion. Get yourself educated on money principles, wealth, how to make your money grow, how to budget, all that kind of stuff helps. And they have some great programs over at their website. I didn't write their website down. It might be hisandhersmoney.com. So check that, or just do a Google search, and I'm sure their YouTube channel will come up as well as their main website. And they got free giveaways and stuff on their website. Contradiction, guys. Once you learn these strategies, apply them. Right? Don't just learn them just to be able to tell other people that you know them. Learn them and apply them so you can get the benefits of them. Number 3 was consumerism, right? Stop spending every waking dime that you have, man, because see what the elite know is you're not spending money with them, you're spending time with them. You're not spending money at Walmart, you're spending your time at Walmart. What does that mean? How did you make the money? You traded your time to get that money. So you're really spending the time that you spent getting that money with Walmart. And if I'm going to spend my time, I'd rather spend my time on my family's legacy. If I had to trade my time for dollars, I'm not then going to trade my dollars for junk. I'm going to trade my dollars for things that are going to buy me more time. Those are investments. Those are assets. You keep accumulating assets, your assets will buy your time back. So if you're going to trade time for money, then get the money and turn that money into junk, you're moving backwards. I'm going to trade my time for money, and I'm going to trade my money for things that will ultimately buy my time back. Looks like the stream is getting weak over here on Facebook. Sorry about that, guys. Because when you spend money that you work for, you're spending your time. You're spending your time. I spent 40 hours making this money, and in 2 days it's gone. I just spent 40 hours. I didn't spend $500. I spent 40 hours. So looking at things in a proper perspective, man, it makes a huge difference. Right? Number 2 on the list was complacency. Right? Don't be afraid to go against the grain. Don't be afraid to be laughed at. Don't be afraid to do something that's going to make you look stupid. If in the end you're going to win, stick with it. Let them talk. Let the haters hate. Let go through all that process, man, and just keep growing. Right? Don't be complacent, man. You know where complacency has gotten you, and you've been in that spot for 10, 15, 20 years. And if you don't do something different, you're going to be in the same spot or worse for the next 10, 15, 20 years. So stop being complacent. And then number one is don't fall into the comparison trap. I got to compete with them. I got to compete with them. I got to compare myself with them. Oh, they just got their house painted, so I'm going to hire the same contractors that they use to come paint my house, when you don't have no money to get your house painted. And what you may not know is that they got their house painted through some insurance settlement. And you're competing because you don't know. Stop living in the fear of what other people might think, what other people might say, what other people might do because of what you're doing. None of that matters. The only competition you have is your older version of yourself. Are you better today than you were yesterday? If not, what are you doing to get better? Are you better today than you were yesterday? If not, what are you doing to get better? Those are the questions that you have to ask yourself. So, guys, we're at the top of the hour. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Tomorrow is Free Game Friday. Please come prepared to be coming back to the stream tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. with your questions. We do Q&A. We'll recap all 4 shows of this week. Then we do Q&A. Tomorrow's show is all about you guys. I want to give you what you want to know about how to build wealth, minimize your taxes, build an empire, legacy, branding, marketing, whatever you guys want to know. I want to help you in that regard. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, today's show was brought to you by Best Services Unlimited LLC. Go holler at my girl, Yvette D. Best at bsullc.us, or you can friend her at Yvette Best on Facebook. And then you can pick up a copy of her book. It's an ebook for Kindle. Maximizing your tax refund, 35 surefire ways to get more from your return. And then do me a favor, if you guys go grab that book, send her a shout out and say, hey, I heard about this on the Financial Health Mentor Talk to Money in the Morning live show. Because when people sponsor and advertise with me, I want them to know that you guys are responding to those messages and that you guys are taking action based on that you heard it. And that will help them continue to feel comfortable advertising with me. So let them know that, hey, because I heard about you on the Talking Money in the Morning live show, I went out and got your book, and that helps. And then you like the book, you can go to her website, you can go to her fan page, Best Services Unlimited LLC, and you can give them a review, and then let them know when you give the review, heard about it on Talking Money in the Morning live. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your man, H Cortez, financial health mentor to the working class. Until I talk to you tomorrow morning, I want you to get your money up because you absolutely can do it. Peace out, people.